Hey everybody, how you doing today? Coach Johnson back again for another video discussing the 3-3 with the two high shell. Hope everybody had a great weekend and hope you were able to check out the first video in the series regarding our 3-3 stack with it from a two high shell look, our base fronts. If not, you'll be able to click the link above and be redirected to that video and all other videos. Remember, guys, if you like the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. That way you'll be notified when I do drop new videos. Like I said, I'm going to try and drop, maybe 2 a week here, depending on the response, and hopefully it helps somebody out there. Before I start this video, I discussed in my last video our base fronts within our 3-3-5 two high shell look. I wanted to start this video before we get into how we designate our strength and some of our base defensive coverages behind it. I want to talk about the base fronts video. Basically, we don't go into a game using every single one of our fronts. Because we're able to create whatever front we want just by bringing one of our three linebackers from our base stack or by using movement up on the line, which we'll get into in a future video. Right now, I'm basically going to be loading up a front end part, then a back end part, then a front end part, then a back end part of the defense, and kind of see how we do it part whole. From week to week, we might have one or two different fronts that we might auto check to based off of a certain formation or something that we see from our opponent. So now that that's out of the way, today we're going to be discussing our 3-3 stack base install defensive coverages. This isn't everything that we have, but this is, what we need to get installed to be ready to play week one. We use split field coverages based off of a read side, which would be the wide side of the field, or what we're considering the strength of the field, and then a boundary side or short side, weak side. So let me go ahead and pull up my screen here. Okay. We'll call our strength normally based in order like this. So first off, we are going to normally set our strength, which is our buck, as we talked about in our last video. We're going to set him to the wide side of the field to start off. And then we start going in that. Okay. So for instance, wide side of the field, we're going to set him to the wide side of the field. If they are in the middle of the field, we are going to set them to the number of receivers. As you see here on my screen, we have 1, 2, 3 receivers on this side, 1, 2 receivers on this side. So this call for us would be a blue. Okay, blue, letting us know that strength is to the left in this. Next, we're going to set off of tight ends. So again, if everything's even, same amount of receivers on both sides, we're going to go ahead and normally set that strength to the tight end. After that, we look at QB's arm, and then obviously game plan, guys. I will say that what you'll see with this, when you have this buck or this adjuster or anything like that, you are going to get some times where they're going to give you formations into the boundary to try and get you to change the structure that you're playing in. For us in this channel, like I said, we are going to be focused on high school and youth football specifically. So in my opinion, in high school football, with the hashes being as wide as they are, I think you need to set to the field first, and then adjust to boundary calls if they continue to try and run you into the boundary. Okay. Day one install, we start with our stack to read. Okay. The reason we start day one with it is because it is something that does take a little bit of time to master and go through. But in a future video, I will be putting up some coverage beater drill stuff that we used. You can also go check out Coach Mack. He has some great stuff on split field coverages. Not gonna lie, I mean, pretty much everything. Whether we were 4-3, 4-2-5, now 3-3 stack, we've been able to keep our coverages the same behind that, based off of 5 or 6 years ago when I start getting into some of the TCU, what they call blue palms. We call it two read. Again, guys, terminology is insignificant. Just make sure that your kids understand what you're trying to do. Okay. So we're going to start off here on the read side, or the wide side of the field, most receiver side of the field to start off. Again, we have our corner, or what we like to call our cheetah. Our strong safety is our shark, and our buck. Okay, so we like to play two read, starting with our cornerbacks responsibility. Basically, both the corner and the safety are going to be reading off of number two. Okay, you need to decide again how you are going to call and designate your out routes. For us, this buck normally has a little bit more of a flat-footed read. He's sitting about 5 yards. So again, what we ask for this corner is three different things, and really the safety. What did two do on the play? Did the two go out, okay, before passing linebacker depth? Did he go vertical past linebacker depth, or did he go under linebacker depth? Okay, and based off of that, it's a if then scenario. So if the cornerback, or I'm sorry, if the number two goes out or runs any kind of out route, bubble route, anything out right away, before he reaches this buck's level, our corner is going to jump that route. All right. And our safety, okay, our safety is going to rob over the top of this number one wide receiver, and whatever route he may be playing. Okay. If number two goes vertical past linebacker depth, okay, then we are basically going to play this number two man to man with our safety, and we're locked on man to man over here, at the number one spot. Okay. If number two goes under, all right, if he goes under, um, and I should go back to the cornerback, right? If number two goes vert, this corner is man to man on number one on anything except shallow, right? So if this guy basically comes right away and starts going under on a shallow, we're basically going to call an in call and pass him off, and we're going to try and help Rob too on any kind of corner route. After that, if number two goes under, okay, under the buck, under before he reaches that linebacker depth there of about 5 yards, okay, our strong safety will play that based on their game plan. Okay, so we could have him kind of sift, because a route that a lot of teams like to run, they like to take number two under and then climb him for a vertical straight down the middle of the field, especially on a too high. Okay, so a lot of times, if this guy goes under right away, we are going to kind of sift through here, right, and make sure that he's not going to turn this route up the middle of the field. Okay, again, what we like to say, if we can see, uh, you know, any part of the numbers have to go away from us. Numbers have to go away from us. We'll kind of sink back to the middle of the field and maybe rob late and help on post. But again, that's all basically a game plan. All right. Our Bucks rules, all right, based off of two read, is it's very simple. Okay, it's very simple. Basically, you're going to be the wall of number two. Number two does not cross your face. You're going to expand with number three. Number three can't out leverage you. And you also have to take the swing wheel deep of three as well. That's one thing that I really like about having this guy being a safety type, a guy that's used to covering, as opposed to a linebacker type who is normally going to be a mismatch on a wheel route from the running back. All right. Our Mike is going to take anything number four coming out or a new number four crossing the field. Basically, while he's spying the quarterback, again, he may be coming. So, like I said, very rarely will we stay with just a three-man rush. Okay. On this backside here, we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be playing two read. Okay. Watching for two to go out, under, or vertical. Okay, depending on what he does, depends on what our free safety or our Falcon and our corner do. Okay, on this side, the Ram is basically just like the Lion over here. Okay, again, he's the wall of two. Um, yeah, again, he's walling off two, not letting two cross my face. Okay. Obviously, three is on the other side. If three comes out to the weak side, okay, at that point now, three can't out leverage me. But as long as three doesn't come out, really, he's going to become that hook to curl to the weak side. Okay, so again, or again, he could be rushing as well. All right. So that is our base install, and that's the first thing that we're going to install. Like I said, being a split field coverage team, okay, being a split field coverage team, um, this is going to be our next little change up that we throw in there. Okay. So for us, this is our lock call. All right. Pretty much anytime we see two detached receivers, we are going to try and play to read to that. Obviously, we have some changeups and some curveballs, especially in that quarters toolbox. Okay. So this is our to read lock. All right. And all that says is that we're running to read to the read side or the wide side, and we're running man to man on the backside. Okay. As you see, again, this is going to look a little bit more typical of your uh, 3-5 structure. Okay. The only difference is normally in a true 3-5 structure, right? The safety is going to be back here. But with this, again, we're able to play what we want to the read side or strong side. We're able to lock it up on the back side. So our rules for two reads stay the same on this front side. We man up on this back side, which means, again, that Ram linebacker will be responsible for number three if he swings out to the weak side, boundary side. Okay. Again, that that may be the only some difficulty that you have. Obviously, which goes back if this running back was over here and we're in the middle side of the field, the buck's going to be over anyway. Okay, so we try to make sure we don't put our guys in bad positions. When you look at the odds, like I said, as defensive coordinators, it's okay to be a gambler, but don't be stupid. Okay, try to put your guys in the best positions you can. Again, we know that, again, scheme and drawing it up on the board, we win every day. Okay, but it's still Johnny's and Joe's, not just X's and O's. So those are our first two camp installs that we go to as far as split coverage. All right. Um, Here we are going to go in anytime. Again, I talked about if we have two detached wide receivers out here, we are normally going to be in our two read. The same goes with an attached tight end. Okay, a lot of times on the attached tight end side, we're going to try to play some form of quarters coverage. Again, quarters toolbox, guys. Work it, work it, work it. Okay, especially if you're going to look to live in this kind of structure. So here on the read side, okay, we are running quarters to the read side, and we're running a cloud concept over here to the boundary side. Okay, and by a cloud concept, I mean that our corner is going to be responsible for the flats, our free safety or our Falcon is responsible for half the field. Again, other terminology, cover six, right? Playing quarters to one side, cover two to the other side. We're just using the cloud and sky designations on who we want to play that flats area. All right. So starting on the quarter side, okay, basically we are going to have a quarter of the field. Okay. And for the most part, we're pretty much going to kind of man this guy up again, except shallow. If number one wants to go shallow, we feel again that's where all the help is, right? Corners out here with this guy, he's running inside to 10 other guys. All right. Our safety back here is basically going to have a flat foot read. He's going to have the vertical of number two. Um, if number two goes straight to the flats or under, okay, we are probably going to look to help rob this posted curl of number one. All right. Our buck, again, in this case, he is actually our D gap force player. He's also that curl flat player to the read side, and he's the swing deep of number two. So if you get some kind of route here by the tight end where he goes directly up the flat and maybe they run that tight end wheel, again, this buck has to run man to man on the swing deep of two, whoever that number two may be. Again, it could be a running back coming out of the backfield, especially if the tight end goes under right away. A running back may flare out there. All right. Um, if this guy pushes vertical, again, we're gonna try and get hands on this guy and just not let this guy go flying vertical upfield. Remember, guys, this is high school. Okay, there is no contact rule within 5 yards until that ball comes out of his hand. Again, I'm not a big fan of big free releases, especially by tight ends. Now, here on the, well, let's go to our lion here. Our lion is the hook curl to the read side, and he's also going to help out with any three vertical coming this way. Maybe you get a play action and the guy tries leaking straight up the field. Again, our linebacker is going to help out on that. Again, the Mike. The great thing about this, guys, our monster is kind of a free player when it comes to coverage stuff. Because again, whether you are three under, three deep, we still are able to do those things. Whether we want to play four under two, again, that's a great thing about having this guy is we're not really relying him on coverage. Okay, so again, we can spy the quarterback, we can do all kinds of different things, but otherwise, again, he's kind of running that middle of the field. If we see a lot of mesh stuff, maybe we bring more stack coverage or blitzes, but we'll go over that in another video. Our ram over here is the hook to curl to the away side. Again, we don't want him to expand too much. Again, basically, you are expanding when need be. So he is a hook player that will get pulled to the curl. Okay. So again, we're getting pulled to that area by something happening. All right. But again, so we go from two receivers detached to two receivers attached. This is probably one of my favorite coverages. And again, guys, if remember, if this receiver here was detached out here, the only thing that's really changing as opposed to quarters is it would be two read hawk. Okay. Same thing on the last clip. right? If this number two is detached, we'd still play it the same way, right? Instead of quarters, it would just be two read cloud or two read sky on that side. Okay, this is our hawk, and again, like I said, this has probably become one of my favorite coverages, especially at the high school level. Again, we already talked about quarters. I'm not going to go through all the rules again on this side, but we're going to play quarters on this side. And on this side, we're going to play what we call our hawk. And our hawk means that basically we are man to man on the back side. And with that, okay, with that, we are basically man to man on the read side, except shallow. Again, if this guy wants to go shallow right away, we're going to get hands on and we're going to ride him inside and then basically come back out. Okay. Otherwise, he's man on anything deep, or again, mod technique is a lot of times what you'll hear. Okay. Um, Again, man all over, MAO, or MOD mod, man on deep. Okay. Our free safety, our Falcon, which again, a Falcon Hawk works out fantastic, right? He is basically a flat foot read kind of guy. He can fit the run where needed, and he's really a vision and break kind of player on the pass. Okay, so he's a ball hawk, right? So, and again, this right stack backer would be responsible for man to man on number two on this away side. If there is no number two coming out to the away side for this guy, he needs to start looking for crossers. Okay, needs to start looking for crossers if no number two is coming out. And again, because this corner is basically sinking in here, right? He's going to get hands on a shallow. If they want to run some kind of shallow over here and then, swing a running back out, that's where, again, we're going to get our hands on and we are going to just kind of push them along in, and then sink back outside for any kind of wheel route or anything else coming out there. Okay. Um, but again, this kid is just kind of hawking back here. All right. So if for some reason maybe this guy runs a post and he is just literally breaking on that quarterback, right? So the quarterback's open, he opens, he opens and starts breaking. He can help out on any kind of post over here. He can help out with the man to man. Again, maybe we don't get good coverage and this guy just flat out beats him out there. Well, now we have help over the top. That Falcon in the Hawk coverage is basically a free player. All right. We just ask him to basically be a vision and break kind of guy. So here I wanted to make sure to show it. So now again, just like before, we have this wide receiver stepped off. So again, our guys know, okay, two detached. We're going to play two read. Two detached to the read side. We're going to play, okay, we're going to play two read. Again, two. Does he go in, out, or vertical? If then, right? Okay, so again, you're teaching your guys if then. If he does this, I do this. It's very easy to go back in video and show them, hey, your guy did this, you should have done that. And it makes the teaching process a whole lot quicker. So what we have here, I showed it two detached, but basically you're getting that nub side or tight end, and again, it could be a tight end in the wing. That's a very big formation that you're seeing a lot today is the tight end with a wing. Either way, we're pretty much going to play it the same way. Now, again, based off what they do, again, maybe our front may change. This might be a time where maybe we auto check to one of our other fronts. You know, you never know. It's all based off game plan, guys. And remember, do what's best for your guys and is successful for you. All right. So we've already talked about two read. Again, we talked about cloud, meaning that basically our corner would have the flats, and then our safety has deep half on that side of the field. Now we're just playing sky, which means our safety is now down and he has flats, and our corner has the uh, the deep half of the field. Okay. So again, our corner in this situation, especially on a nub, we want him to be a flat foot read um, guy to the deep half of the wayside. All right. So again, there's no reason necessarily to start bailing. Again, a lot of times they want to get you kind of spread out over here, and you'll start seeing that run into the boundary or run into what they consider the weak side, especially when you're talking about a three front. Okay, I see it a lot. Again, this may be a time where we would do some things a little bit differently, maybe play a little different coverage behind it. But for the most part, this is where we're starting. Okay, again, this is all install and camp there. And then the final one, not going to go over too much, but again, it's just a cover three. All right. And I like to start from our stack five cover three to teach the principles of the cover three coverage. All right. So we're going to teach the principles of the cover three from here. That way, when we start moving back to our too high shell, okay, it makes it easier when we start talking about our roll and cut cover three, right? The kids start having an idea of where they're fitting in and what their role is. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Um, the next video will probably drop. I can't remember if it's tomorrow. I think I have it scheduled tomorrow or Wednesday to drop. I'm thinking maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But again, if you like the content, make sure to like and subscribe. Feel free to check out the channel, Shutdown Defense. You can also follow me on Twitter at ShutdownDMCHS. Guys, hope this helped you out. The next video, again, we'll be moving back to how we play our fronts and some of our line movement stuff that we do. So have a great day, guys. Talk to you later.